First up, Adam and Jamie are in for a blast.
A few months ago, we put a challenge to the fans. We said if they found an internet viral video that they wanted us to test, they could head over to the MythBusters channel on YouTube and put the challenge to us. And I have to say the response has been overwhelming. We've been inundated with suggestions.
Although some of them have been kind of weird. I mean, there was this one guy that insists that those vapor trails left by jets are actually toxic chemicals put there by the government.
Yeah, and some of them were totally impossible to test, like cold fusion.
Yeah, but some of the suggestions were right up our alley.
Like what?
Well, our fire-loving fans want us to start with a bang.
Give me more.
Well, this guy sent us this video of a bucket, and it has a bunch of matches in it. He lights it, it makes a big fireball.
That's perfect.
What's up, MythBusters? I was looking on YouTube and I found a video where some guys got 30,000 match heads and they put them all together and they made this great big fireball. And I thought you guys could test it out, see if you can really do that with matches.
According to the video, the backyard blast was made using a tin bucket, 30,000 match heads, and one slow-burning fuse. But fans want to know, did match heads alone create this intense inferno?
The video says that they used 30,000 match heads. Now that's going to take a while.
Yep, there's nothing to do though but get started.
Okay.
Instead of wooden matches, Adam and Jamie are slicing and dicing paper matchbooks.
Judging by that bucket, I'd say I've only got a drop in the bucket.
But what's key is the match heads themselves. All match heads use a potent chemical, potassium chlorate. So potent it's found in gunpowder and was widely used in early explosives. But is it potent enough to create the fireball of the fable? Well, feeling frisky after a full 10-hour day of match decapitation, the MythBusters are itching to find out.
The YouTube submission that we are replicating here today is a fan who supposedly spent hours cutting the heads off 30,000 matches, dumped them into a steel bucket, put that steel bucket in his backyard, put a little bit of fuse to it, lit it, and the thing went whoosh like that. That looks good enough to try. And instead of doing it in our backyard, well, we're going to do it in one of our favorite locations, almost our second shop, the Alameda County Sheriff's bombing range.
The bomb range may seem like overkill, but it's better to be safe than scorched.
30,000 match heads.
Yeah.
Now, has anyone got a light?
This right here is slow-burning cannon fuse. It seems to be what they're using in the video. It burns at about 1 foot every 30 seconds. And we just happen to have some around the shop.
While Adam gets in touch with his inner pyro, Jamie explores the burning issue of match safety.
You've got potassium chlorate, which is the fuel, and then you have phosphorus, which is what makes it sensitive enough to ignite. Now, in the strike anywheres, that phosphorus is on the white tip right here. And so you can strike it anywhere, the two chemicals combine, and you've got a fire. In the safety matches, though, the phosphorus is in the striker pad right there, and the potassium chlorate is in the match. You combine the two and they both go off. Now, we're going to be using safety matches for our experiment because, well, they're safer.
Safer, except when you strike 30,000 at once. But is this mayhem just about matches, or did other accelerants fan the flame?
Will these behave the way they did in the YouTube clip? Well, that's 20. We're going to be igniting 30,000. Will they create a flame 8 or 10 feet high? Only one way to find out. I love it when common materials are dangerous. Go ahead and light it.
I like using the fuse more than almost anything else. So much anticipation.
The fuse burns at 2 feet per minute. So 4 feet and 2 minutes of anticipation later.
Wow! Oh, nice!
That was cool.
That was pretty good.
It's a sparktacular result. A 10 feet tall Roman candle. Burn for burn, it's the same as the blast in the YouTube video. The high-speed camera confirms it. It's a match, give or take 30,000.
That is about the correct height for what it showed in YouTube.
Oh, yes, look at that. Wow. I thought we were looking for 8 or 9 foot plume of hot fire, and that's exactly what we got. Based on this, I think that YouTube video is 100% correct, accurate, and true.
In other words, it's myth confirmed. But before you can say, don't try this at home, Adam and Jamie are already hatching a more powerful pyrotechnic plan.
But you know we can't leave it there.
Oh, I know.
It's the MythBusters YouTube special, and it's time to turn up the heat.
I think I know what's coming up. Give me a hint.
Well, you know when you burn rubber on a car?
Yeah.
Makes a lot of smoke, right? They say where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what this next myth is about.
The YouTube posting that posits if you spin a car tire fast enough and for long enough, it'll actually catch fire.
You bet. Check this video out.
Okay.
Dear MythBusters, I want to know, can you ever spin a car's wheels so fast that the tires catch fire? Please test this.
The special effects won't win an Oscar, but it's clear what this web rev head wants.
The video looks a little dodgy to me, but I like the idea. How do you want to test it?
I can't see that it gets much simpler than this one. We get a nice powerful car and a bunch of tires, secure the brakes in the car so it doesn't get out of control, some temperature monitoring equipment for seeing how hot it's getting, and we spin and burn those tires until we get some fire.
I like it.
I thought you would.
Cavemen first used friction to make fire, but can the same thing happen when rubber meets the road? Well, to find out, the guys have found a muscle car with enough grunt to spin the tires fast enough to maybe burn rubber. And it's all going down at the local police training center.
Well, this myth is pretty simple. The myth is that if you're doing a tire burnout, i.e. screeching your tires on the pavement, that you can get them going fast enough that they will burst into flames. I think the testing for this is pretty straightforward.
First up, pedal to the metal Heineman wants to put the car through its paces. He's heard the officers here are fond of donuts.
He disappeared in a cloud of smoke.
With all this smoke, it's clear that the car's got the grunt that this myth needs.
It looks like a nice car. In fact, it's a lot nicer than it looks. In there is a race-prepped V8 that's running at about 375 horsepower. This is one of the most powerful cars we've ever been allowed to abuse. We're going to enjoy the moment. Strange man with mustache passed this way. 5 minutes ago.
The plan for testing is to keep the car stationary.
I'm gonna goose the front up just a little bit.
Then they'll rev the engine until they get a tire of fire or the car cracks up. As plans go, it's pretty simple. But Adam and Jamie are following that old MythBusters adage. If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing.
That ought to do it if it's gonna work at all.
I'll explain our rig. This, our test car, has a super powerful engine, and it's only going to be spinning this tire. We've got no tire on the other side and a jack stand. The front two wheels are off the ground, lifted by the forklift, and strapped in so that even when this thing is going full bore, the car can't get out of control. Jamie's built an exhaust system to vent smoke and flames away from the tire when it's going. We'll be behind the blast chamber section in case bits start flying off. First up, just spin the tire and see what happens.
A ruptured fuel line or spark could indeed start a fire. But how about just friction alone? Well, Jamie, for one, has got his doubts.
Personally, I'm guessing that we'll disintegrate the tire before we get there, but that's what we're here to find out.
All right, were you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's turn on the scrubbers, get behind the wheel, wait for my signal, and we'll start the first test.
Got it. We're looking to create a fire here. Now, for a fire, we need three things. We need a fuel, which in this case is the tire. We need a source of oxygen, which is the air around us. But for the ignition, we are going to be using the heat generated by the friction between the tire and the road surface. The question is, can we get that tire hot enough to create that source of ignition? And it's got to be really hot.
And really hot, in this case, is 300 degrees Celsius, the ignition point of rubber.
This is spinning tire fire. Tire with no modifications. Go!
Jamie redlines the engine for over a minute. But there's no sign of flame. And with the car at full tilt, the question is what will blow first, the tire or the engine?
Oh! Stop!
And there's your answer.
Shut it down, Denny.
Jamie's prediction was right on the rubber. The high-speed camera reveals how the tire burst before it could ignite. And what's left is way below flash point.
It's not hot. The thing is not hot. I mean, the tread failed, and what was underneath wasn't very hot at all.
So for test one, where there's smoke, there's fire, couldn't have been more wrong. But rest assured, the MythBusters aren't giving up without a fight.
I think you might need some of our firemen's oxygen, though. How you feeling?
Yeah, I want to close the windows this time.
The MythBusters YouTube special's been packing heat with the 30,000 match head fireball. Adam and Jamie confirm the myth, but their viral fan has an even hotter idea.
I thought you guys could test it out, see if you can really do that with matches. And if it's true, maybe you can get together like 1 million matches or something. See what happens then, that would be cool.
Okay, but cutting 1 million matches is a big job.
All right, first of all, thank you guys for coming to help out.
Which means the MythBusters sweatshop is open for business.
1 million match heads is what we've got to assemble. Even at 50,000 per case, that's still 20 cases of matchbooks. We've got to peel, cut, and assemble. So we called everyone we could. We've got a 12-person assembly line going. We've got 250,000 match heads so far. I'm feeling pretty good about hitting 1 million by the end of the day.
1 million match heads is mind-bogglingly massive and a MythBusters first. They've never made or tested 1 million of anything before now. And while that doesn't stop it from being a long, tedious, exhausting day, after 12 hours of cutting, and more cutting, it's game, set, and matches.
And I thought you'd be interested in seeing, just for show, what is left over when you cut up 1 million match heads.
While all that debris will be recycled, the 1 million match heads have gone on a one-way trip to the bomb range.
1 million match heads.
Let's go get them.
Instead of a 1-gallon bucket, they need a 44-gallon drum to hold all the match heads. For added shock and awe, they're burning them at night with the help of bomb tech JD.
What now?
1 million match heads.
1 million?
1 million.
You guys have way too much time on your hands.
And having too much time on their hands is something Adam and Jamie do best.
We've caught sight of a nocturnal Heinemann foraging. He seems to be gathering sticks. It's unknown for what, because so little is known about this elusive animal.
Is he doing his David Attenborough thing again?
Ham actor Adam sure is excited by tonight's fireworks.
Seriously, 1 million match heads. 30,000 was fine, don't get me wrong. But we went ahead and cut 1 million. And now we're gonna get to see these puppies burn. Can you imagine if this went off while we were here?
If it does go off, it's time to de-ass the area with the quickness.
De-ass the area? I like that.
That's my new favorite phrase.
A quick de-assing plan could come in handy. This crazy request is 33 times larger than the original match blast, but Jamie thinks it could be even bigger.
There are times when we're dealing with explosives and other energetic materials that scale isn't linear. In other words, we can get something like a thermal runaway and we get a lot more boom than we planned on because things kind of escalate out of control. Could happen.
And when out of control is on the agenda, Adam can't help but laugh like a maniac.
Oh, wow.
What is 1 million match heads gonna look like? A lot more than 1 million times that, I swear. I feel like it's gonna be like a giant freaking flashbulb.
To prove Adam's pyro prediction, they still need one final ingredient.
Anybody got a match?
You guys ready? Shall we do this?
I'm ready. You ready, JD?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right.
1,000,000 match blast has never been attempted. It's unknown, highly explosive territory. So Adam uses a longer fuse for added safety.
Lights out.
This is one of the coolest things we've done.
Or possibly the stupidest. But now there's no turning back.
Here we go.
Yeah!
That was awesome! That was exactly like the small one, only bigger.
Lots bigger.
I saw match heads like salt and pepper in the flame ball.
It just kept getting brighter and brighter and brighter and larger.
It's a massive fireball, at least 50 feet high. The high-speed camera reveals the rapid acceleration of the burn. 1,000,000 matches went up in smoke as quickly as 30,000.
It's like a rocket engine.
A giant blowtorch. Even Jamie giggled, and I think that's a testament to just how thrilling it was to watch it happen in front of us.
Which brings us to the disclaimer.
Say it with me. Do not try this at home. If I find out that any of you tried this at home, I'll personally come to your house and kick your butt. You got that?
Seriously, there's no need to try this at home because we've done it for you.
And they say you shouldn't play with matches.
Meanwhile, things are reaching breakneck speed in the test to see whether a spinning car tire can ever catch fire. Adam and Jamie's first test was a fizzer because the tire burst and didn't ignite. Or so they thought.
Look at that. It may have taken 35 minutes, but we got some burning rubber. Hey, Jamie.
It's a sizzling surprise. Remarkably, the powdered rubber shed by the tire has ignited half an hour after the test.
That sucker's gotten hot in the last half hour.
The flames fuel Adam's optimism.
What we saw in this tire dust after Jamie burned the rubber was smoldering smoke. That was small particles of this acting kind of like coals in a barbecue. They were being converted to smoke by heat. And enough of them propagated that while we were eating lunch, the thing caught on fire. To me, that means that the elements for tire ignition are here. They're just maybe not all in the right place at the right time for us.
If they can find a way to ignite the rubber while it's on the tire, then maybe this myth is more fact than friction.
So we did get the tire burned. It just took a little longer than we thought, like about an hour.
Exactly. We just have to shorten that timestamp, and I think we're good. Let's put it out.
And Adam's got an idea to shorten that time span on their next spin.
We get the tire spinning up really fast, we got some really hot temperatures, and then we add sparks, which could happen if a piece of equipment's dragging from the bottom of the car. Maybe that is going to get us the ignition we're looking for.
Right Spark Adam has rigged an angle grinder to a sheet of metal to get more sparks than the 4th of July.
We'll do that for about 45 or 55 seconds.
Once more, Jamie climbs into the hot seat, this time with an oxygen mask.
All right, dude, you're good to go. I'll start the sparks once you start to burn. Yeah, we got sparks going. It's like we're being transported to a mystical land.
2 minutes and the tire hasn't blown. Jamie floors the V8 once more.
All right, he's really meaning it now. Oh, there we go.
The tire is totally total. But even with sparks, once again, no fire. This myth is looking more than a little rubbery. So for a final test, they'll throw everything at the tire.
We tried the regular old tire, we tried tire plus sparks, and we still have not got a burning tire. I think you'd agree with me that it's time to add some fossil fuels, and that's what's hanging in that bag over there, which leads to a tube and a stopcock and goes all the way under the car to an outlet right here. Gas, fumes, and sparks. If this doesn't get the tire burning, it's just not gonna happen.
It's an old MythBusters standby. When in doubt, add accelerant.
All right, gas plus sparks. I'm gonna start the gasoline. Go! blast chamber is great for debris, not so great for smoke.
After 90 seconds, no flames, but plenty of smoke.
We've got gasoline pouring on the tire while it's spinning and sparks shooting on the gasoline-soaked tire. I still don't think we're getting burning rubber.
Gas fumes and sparks should be an explosive mix. Something here doesn't add up.
I think that's about it. Jamie, are you all right?
I'm all right.
He's all right. He's breathing oxygen. How was that for you?
Seemed like it took forever. Did we get any kind of fire?
We didn't get any kind of fire. We had sparks shooting right on the gasoline, and the smoke was everywhere. We gave it every kind of bad situation a car could find itself in. Accelerants on the ground, sparks shooting, tires spinning until it burst, and we didn't get a burning tire.
And Jamie's got a theory as to why.
It seems to me that the wind coming off of the tire as it was spinning was keeping the gasoline from igniting.
Yeah, totally.
Turns out that the turbulence caused by the spinning prevented any sort of ignition, meaning that the tire effectively has its own fire prevention system. And that means it's time to retire this myth for good.
Well, I guess this means it's busted.
That's totally busted.
There's been a lot of monkeying around with matches by our MythBusters. Jamie and Adam have applied heat to the YouTube match blast myth. They confirmed that 30,000 match heads are a blast. But then, at the request of a fan, they increased the inferno to 1 million.
That was awesome!
So, what's left to prove?
You know what I like about doing this show is that we actually get to do stuff like light up 1 million match heads. When the hell is that ever going to happen again? And yet I have to admit, somehow I just don't feel like it's enough.
Well, you know, I was thinking about that. And what if we actually made the matches do work? Like, say we put them in a cannon and fired a cannonball with them, instead of just blowing something up.
I love it. Let's do it.
A cannon powered by match heads?
I got your cannon right here.
Well, how about an old welding cylinder powered by matches?
As is our way on MythBusters, we're using tools and materials in ways for which they were never intended. This right here is a K-sized gas cylinder, but soon it's going to be a cannon.
Now may be a good time to say, don't try this at home. Leave it to the experts.
It's like a smoking gun.
The plan is to make a muzzle-loading cannon, pack it with 60,000 matches, and see if that explosive energy can launch a cannonball. Or should that be launch a bowling ball? Because our hard-to-impress Heineman is ready to get loaded.
I'm done.
You think it'll fit?
It's going to be close.
First, the 6-pound bowling ball needs a close shave.
Totally doesn't fit.
While Jamie sands his big orange ball, Adam gives the former gas tank a steel girdle and a set of wheels.
Ah! Oh, that's awesome. All right, a few more welds.
Welded and ready for duty.
Well, that's a cannon.
And there's a cannonball.
Then it's back to the bomb range to see if 60,000 matches pack enough punch to send a 6-pound ball into the air.
It's just another lovely day at the bomb range. Birds are singing, rabbits are hopping about, and soon there's going to be a big explosion.
Gonna aim right there.
With a bowling ball as the projectile, the boys have picked the perfect target.
Well, what else are we gonna shoot at with a cannon that fires a bowling ball? Of course we're gonna shoot at bowling pins.
You're about a bowling pin to the right, so swing it to the left of the... That's it.
Let's load.
Okay.
With the target ready, the cannon's primed with 60,000 match heads, 1 recycled grocery bag, some cannon fuse, and Jamie's favorite ingredient.
Can't have too much lard.
Lard should ensure a smooth exit out of the cannon.
All right, bowling ball is properly larded.
And this means they're ready to fire, though they're not sure what will happen when they do.
There we go. There's nothing right about this setup. Everything is wrong. Our cannon here is actually a modified K-size argon cylinder. Our cannon ball is actually a modified 6-pound bowling ball. Our propellant is actually modified books of matches, just the heads. There are so many variables, we don't know what's going to happen, but that's where a safe distance and the blast chamber panels come into play.
Okay, I'm gonna light it and come around and make room for me over there, all right?
Will do.
I love cannon fuse.
I know, totally.
You can see what it's doing.
Yeah.
It sort of builds anticipation.
Adam's confidence grows as the fuse shortens.
You know, personally, I think this is actually going to work. Bowling ball's going to come flying out of there and knock down all those pins.
It'll probably break the bowling ball because it's going so fast, though. It's amazing. It's just match heads.
I know. Ah, jeez, dude, that's awful.
Okay, now it's inside.
All right.
Where'd the bowling ball go?
I don't know.
Shot over the pin.
Really? We missed the pins.
It's a humongous blast. The cannon went great guns, hurling the bowling ball over the pins, over the fence, and up over the hill.
We got to go look for it.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
The team search high and low, but despite it being day-glow orange, no one can see any sign of the ball until
There it is.
Right there, straight ahead.
they find it.
It's got a big crack in it, but it's perfectly intact.
I swear, aside from missing our pins, that's a very viable impromptu cannon.
Yeah, I mean, that would have killed you if you'd been in front of it, or a bunch of people, actually.
This is becoming an area of expertise of ours.
It's still intact.
Oh, I'd bowl with it.
The 6-pound ball traveled 1,500 feet uphill.
1,500 feet uphill. That's like 3,000 feet normal
With matches.
with matches. That is a lot of power. Nicely done. Thanks, GD. Awesome.
Lard.
The high-speed camera reveals a fiery blast and recoil that's as good as or better than if they'd used gunpowder. Not only have they confirmed the original myth, but the million match blast and the match cannon prove the explosive power of the chemicals contained in household matches.
That was great. It was, you know, one of those things I had no idea that would actually work.
Yeah. Well, we proved the video was true and we topped it. You can't ask for more than that.
We've got another action hero myth, huh?
We do, and it's really only illustratable by telling a story. So, you are in a showdown with the bad guy and you've got the beat on him, but just as you're about to shoot him, he jumps into his car and drives away, but you're able to get off one shot into his gas tank, which starts leaking fuel.
Oh, I love this one, because I happen to have a lighter in my pocket. I light it, I drop it into the trail of fuel, and it races, catches up with a car blows up, bad guy's dead, right?
Exactly that, and we're gonna do it.
It's a cinematic cliche. Our hero has to stop the escaping bad guy. Okay, so action heroes don't usually come with a beret and mustache. There's the single shot into the gas tank, the leaking trail of gasoline, the nonchalant flick of a light, and finally, the fleeing fugitive feels the full force of Hollywood-style justice. But is this another example of the language of film rewriting the laws of physics?
So how are we gonna do this one? You gonna shoot my car while I drive away at high speeds?
We'll save that for the finale. I think we need to start small and simple, just test what the different fuel types do, you know, how quickly they burn, break it down.
That sounds great.
Cool.
As always, Jamie wants to take the pragmatic approach. But this look into the future confirms that the small and simple plan will quite literally go up in flames.
Faster, faster, faster. Everybody out.
And when the story ends with full-scale mayhem, inevitably, it began with bench tests in the bunker.
The basic metric for all of this is figuring out how fast fuel burns from A to B. So we're basically, under slightly safer conditions, going to spray some fuel on the ground, light it, time how fast it takes to get from A to B.
3 fuels will make up the samples for this first test, and gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel are the most likely culprits to be found causing a conflagration in an action movie. Gasoline is first up, and Adam squirts a 7-foot trail onto a smooth metal plate.
There we go. 1.7 seconds to go 7 feet. That's fast.
And despite several tests adding more and more gasoline, that time of 1.5 seconds seems to be constant.
1.5 seconds. Yeah, 1.5 seconds. It's the same whether we use a tiny amount of fuel or a whole lot. Well, this seems to be a constant in the timing of the gasoline. 1.6 seconds. It's really, really steady. 1.5, 1.6. We're within 1/10 of a second. But we're getting a very constant speed, and it doesn't seem to be related to the amount of gasoline we're putting down. So I think we can extrapolate this out to miles per hour and start working with it as a bona fide figure. All right, so it went 7 feet in 6. That's 4.6 feet per second. Equals 3.17 miles per hour. That's actually like a reasonable walk speed.
But what about the other fuels? Diesel's next.
It's not lighting.
No.
But despite liberally applying the blowtorch, it doesn't want to go up in flames.
That's hard stuff to light.
It only lights when it gets mystified.
This is far out. Diesel fuel does not light like normal gasoline. Apparently it's formulated to specifically ignite only under certain circumstances, and one of them is definitely not laying it out on the ground and lighting it with a match.
Next up is jet fuel. Jet fuel in 3, 2, 1.
And just like the diesel, jet fuel does anything but rocket along the track.
He's still burning. He's still burning.
Very similar to diesel fuel.
But the police are coming, so let's wrap up and get out of here.
Okay.
While Adam tries to explain away his pyromania to local law enforcement officers, Jamie can give us the science.
The reason that diesel fuel and jet fuel don't burn on the ground is that they're not aerosolized. They need to be mixed in with the air in a vapor or a mist for them to burn effectively.
Which leaves just one conclusion.
I think it's pretty obvious that of all the things we've tested, gasoline is by far the most volatile. If you're a bad guy, you want to light someone's gas trail on fire and blow up their car, you better hope they're driving a gasoline-powered vehicle, not diesel or jet fuel.
So gasoline's perfect trailblazing properties means it's the fuel of choice going forward. But where to next? Well, the mythical action scene in question involves a leaking gas tank as a result of a gunshot. So to find out how fast fuel falls from a bullet hole, Frank Tabor has answered the call with a veritable ballistic buffet.
Can I fire this one? Can I? Do you mind? Is it all right?
Sure, go ahead.
Awesome.
With the gas tank in position at the end of their makeshift gun range, Adam and Jamie are aiming to find out the size of a .22 caliber bullet hole, as well as a .44.
I'd round these off, say the 22 is like a 1/4 inch and this is like a 5/8.
Absolutely. So shooting the hole was only the first part of this test. Now I want to know how fast fuel will leak out of the hole that Jamie shot. So I've got a 1 liter bottle here. I'm going to let the fuel fall into here, count how many seconds it takes to get to exactly 1 liter. Then I'll know how many liters per minute this hole will leak. So that's just over 3 liters a minute. The results of this test are pretty straightforward. .22 caliber bullet leaves a 1/4 inch size hole and leaks about 3.5 liters of fuel per minute. A .44 caliber bullet leaves a hole that's a little over 1/2 inch in diameter and leaks more than double, about 7.5 liters per minute.
So Adam and Jamie know exactly how quickly fuel flows from a gunshot gas tank and the speed at which a trail of gas burns. And with that information, it's full scale ahead. But shooting the gas tank of a car isn't exactly a safe option. So Adam builds a rig for the back of an old pickup.
I'm going to hang this gas tank off the back of this pickup truck with a steel shield between it and the pickup truck so that I can experiment with amounts of leaking fuel coming out of this, igniting them, and potentially blowing up this gas tank without hurting the driver of this truck while driving.
Adam and Jamie are all set. So it's off to the Alameda Naval Base to heat things up. Since around the time Jamie started going to the movies in the early 1900s, a blazing trail of flammable fuel has been a Hollywood staple. No action hero's CV would be complete without a lit fuse of gasoline blowing up the bad guys. On the trail of this flammable fable, Jamie and his partner in flame, Adam, have found that gasoline burns in a contiguous line. And they know how much and how quickly fuel leaks from a bullet hole.
That's just over 3 liters a minute.
So, on location at the Alameda Naval Base, it's time to take things up a notch.
It's kind of dark in here. Maybe we need to light a fire.
Well, you like it? We got a sealed floor, total control, no wind. It's perfect experimental space, and the fire department says provisionally we can light some gasoline in here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep, the sealed floor and contained environment is perfect for, this myth.
Oh, no! Okay, let's get started with work.
And it just gets better, because the next step involves a perfect piece of Jamie-style invention.
At this point, we've learned what gasoline does when you lay it out in a stream and light it. But we have yet to see what happens when it's coming out of something that's moving, like a vehicle. So I figure, like we normally do, we like to start out small to see what we're dealing with, and therefore I've invented this thing which I call the firebug.
Which, let's face it, is a remote control fire hazard on wheels.
That's absolutely perfect. Well, you want to just start them running around, and I'll light the back end as it goes?
Yeah.
With a full squeezy bottle of gas on board, the firebug is ready.
Fire extinguisher. I'm totally ready.
And by turning the nozzle down to simulate a leaking gas tank, Jamie is all set.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
The firebug takes off, leaving a perfect trail of gasoline in its wake, which Adam happily sets ablaze.
There we go. This little thing is about the coolest RC toy that I've ever seen, but it's extremely dangerous. You can't do this at home. You may have an RC car, you may have some gasoline, but you could die, you could burn your house down.
This is the coolest remote control car I've ever seen.
We've got fire extinguishers and EMTs and everything. We're prepared. You're not. Don't try it at home.
Really? Leave this one to the experts. After all, who needs to make that call to your parents explaining you just burnt the house down?
That was awesome. Okay. That was actually a pretty good test. It told us a lot of what we needed to know. We wanted to know if you could lay down a line of fuel out of a moving vehicle and it would remain contiguous. The answer is yes. And it doesn't seem like we need that much fuel. So I think we're ready to go full scale. I think we've learned what we wanted to know, although Jamie still seems to be enjoying setting stuff on fire.
Full scale it is. And for that, they need Firebug's big brother.
Say hello to the fire beast!
The Fire Beast, a truck with a leaking gas tank attachment. Don't expect to see one of these in a showroom near you.
This is the patented MythBusters 10-minute solution for controlling the fuel from the driver's seat. Rather than a complex solenoid-driven valve or something like that, it's a rope. Pull on the rope, nozzle lifts above the level of the fuel. Let it go, and it starts to run out. It's just that simple.
MythBuster Ingenuity, also useful for time-saving home inventions.
I use one of those when I go to the bathroom. I'm done.
So on this test, Adam and Jamie will get a good feel for this movie myth. They already know a gas trail burns like it does in the movies. They've got 44 and 22 caliber sized bullet holes in their gas tank. And they've seen, in small scale, a continuous gas trail laid by a moving vehicle.
I am the fire ninja!
And you could say Adam is excited. And sore.
So, I mean, our goal here is just to find out if the 22 caliber size hole or the 44 caliber hole leaves enough fuel behind the truck for the fire to follow, right?
And at what speed it'll sort of keep up with it. So I'm just going to listen for your cues on the radio,
Right.
and you tell me to speed up or slow down. that's what I'll do.
Okay, start with a baseline of like 5 miles an hour, a good brisk run, because that seems to be what we've been seeing, 3.5, 4 miles an hour for the fuel.
In this action movie scenario, Jamie's playing the part of the escaping bad guy with a .22 caliber bullet hole in his gas tank.
It's time to burn for science. Let's go.
And Adam is standing in for the hero who's going to light up the gas trail Jamie's leaving behind.
Jamie, whenever you're ready, lower down the fuel and start driving.
Jamie the villain makes a run for it.
I'm lighting the fuel now. You can slow down, Jamie. It's moving quite slowly.
But there's no need to hurry.
That's moving really slowly.
Not exactly the high-speed blazing trail of fire we're used to seeing on the silver screen.
Okay, yeah, you can stop it.
I had to put my brakes on. I wasn't giving it any fuel to get it to go that slow. I was just like idling with my brakes half on to do
So
that.
you can pretty much push a car faster than gasoline burns.
Kind of, sort of.
So does that put the brakes on this myth? Or will the .44 caliber sized hole make a difference?
My prediction is from what I saw in the bunker test, volume didn't affect speed that much. Now, this is a much bigger test than we were able to do in the bunker, so this will be pretty definitive, but I don't think it's going to prove anything different than we've already seen.
Jamie moves off, gently idling along at less than 5 miles an hour, easily staying ahead of the lit trail.
It's looking good, Jamie. It's keeping pace with you about 10 feet back.
Until Adam has a lapse in concentration on radio duties and fails to warn Jamie the flames are gaining on him.
Faster, faster, faster. Lift it up.
It was going along fine until it started to catch up a little bit. And all of a sudden, Adam's saying, gun it. And I took off, but it was too late. It actually stayed with me, and it caught up with the tank, and it could have set it off.
Traveling at the lower limit of the speedometer, Jamie is unsure of his speed, but it seems as though the fresher the trail, the faster it burns. However, another run to test that hypothesis is brought to an abrupt end when Jamie gets hemmed in.
Guys, I'm gonna stop. We're gonna start to have crossover.
As another band of busters once said, it's a bad idea to cross the streams.
Hey, you, it stinks in here. We're waiting for the smoke to clear in there, but provisionally, I'll say the .44 caliber hole test was really educational. Specifically noticing that the closer the line of gas got to the source, i.e. the gas tank, the faster the flame traveled. And remember, it's not the liquid gas that's burning, it's the vapor gas above the liquid. So if it's had a long time to settle, that vapor spreads out and it's got a lot of wind resistance, like a weather front. But the closer it gets, the faster it travels. There may actually be something to this. That was pretty good for a best case scenario.
Yeah, you know, epoxy sealed floor, no wind, perfectly flat and smooth. I think we gotta go outside next.
I think we do. Let's come back tonight.
Okay.
Adam and Jamie are no strangers to testing tales about blazing trails. When they put Hollywood on trial, they stubbed out the myth that you can light up fuel on the floor with a cigarette.
I'm rolling it in the gasoline. Nothing's happening.
But this time they're testing whether the trail, lit by G.I. Jamie, will blow up an escaping car's gas tank. And for a definitive answer, they've returned to the runway at Alameda.
This is perfect. The sun is setting, the wind's dying, we've got like ideal real-world conditions here.
And just as importantly, it'll be dark soon, meaning they'll be able to clearly see the flame.
The first thing we're gonna do is sort of a control. We're gonna put a .44 caliber sized hole in the tank. Gasoline's gonna come running out of the tank as the truck is moving.
Remember, the previous tests took place on a sealed floor out of the elements. So this first test is a control to see if the lit trail burns continuously, just like it did indoors.
Adam, I can't see a thing back there, so I'm totally in your hands as far as what I'm doing with this truck.
The first thing I'm gonna do if I see the fire getting too close to you is tell you to pull up the nozzle.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Got it.
Jamie at the start position lowers the hose, letting the fuel spill out.
and go.
And Adam, once again, fanning the flames of his pyromania, lights her up.
More. Good speed, good speed. And that's pretty much all she wrote. For a real-world control, that test went about as good as I could have hoped. Jamie drove at a reasonable speed. The fuel line he laid down burned totally continuously. What I'm looking for here is not whether or not the fuel line will catch up to Jamie. It's really actually just whether or not it'll burn in a single line. And for a control, it couldn't have gone better.
A good control, but really it's a case of so far, so slow.
In the testing so far, I've been driving so slowly that it's not even registering on the speedometer. This next test, I'm going to get up to 20 miles an hour before I hit the starting line. Right at the starting line, I'll be dropping the hose, starting to leak fuel out, and my guess is that it's going to be such a thin stream that actually contacts the pavement that it's not going to light more than a few inches.
It's still moving towards him. Oh, but it's petering out.
Which means the fleeing fugitive is free and clear.
That was interesting. You did that perfectly. The gas started before the first 2 cones and ended after the second, and when I set it on fire, it burned longer than I thought it would, almost 100 feet. And then it just couldn't continue, and it petered out there, and you know, the gas had already evaporated, the line was too thin, it wasn't going to go.
And 20 miles an hour isn't that fast.
No, not like an action movie car chase. It would be a lot faster, so it would only get worse for this myth at any speed above 20.
Not looking too good.
No, it's not.
Yep, if our villain takes off at any kind of reasonable speed, the trail simply burns out. And although the fat lady is preparing her tonsils, Adam and Jamie aren't ready to call it. After all, there's 2 parts to this myth.
Even though we've proved that it is extremely unlikely under most circumstances for the line of burning gasoline to get to the tank, now it's time to find out what happens if it actually does. We're removing the rubber hose. We've got just a hole sticking out of the gas tank. We're going to let the fire get all the way to it, and Jamie will actually only be crawling forward to keep any fuel or fire from getting to his truck side of the metal shield.
Adam in full safety gear lights up the pool of fuel, and Jamie crawls forward, letting the flame catch up.
Okay, it's reached the tank. It's reached the tank. It's burning up this line, but it's not exploding yet.
Stay away from it.
It's just running out and burning. It's not in any danger of getting under your tires.
Don't let your guard down yet.
Don't worry. That was not what I expected out of that test. You know, in every movie, every bullet or cigarette equals an exploding gas tank. They seem to be on hair triggers. And in this case, we had gas pouring out of a tank on fire for about a good 6 or 7 minutes. The wind started to whip up the gasoline and the flames. The flames got under the tank, which heated it up. And once they heated it up, the air inside started expanding, and I started watching the gas spewing out of the hole. At that point, the flames got so vigorous, they engulfed one of our cameras, and I decided to pull the plug and extinguish everything.
Oh, camera, let's put it out.
Despite being cooked to within an inch of its digital life, the camera came through and got the shot.
Well, there's a problem.
Oh, that's awesome!
So what do we do now?
Well, I think we're back to our old friend and nemesis, air-fuel mixture. I think we need to know exactly when we're at the correct explosive limit, and I think we do whatever it takes to get that. Let's pop off those ports on top, let's get some air moving around in there, put some gas in, do the same thing we did before, but we don't light it until we have a meter that tells us we're at the right explosive limit.
And this time, let's take the camera away from it.
I think so.
In an attempt to get that Hollywood-style big boom, Adam and Jamie open up several ports on the tank. But why are they even necessary?
Gasoline or gasoline vapor by itself is not exploding. It needs a source of ignition, and it needs air. In fact, it needs a very specific amount of air for it to blow up. That range is above 1.4% vapor to air or below 7.6% vapor to air. If it's outside that range, it's not exploding. If it's within that range and it has a source of ignition, it can blow up. Now, we're going to use this meter here to determine what we've got in the tank and whether we can get it to the butter zone or not.
So the mix of air and fuel vapor in the gas tank has to be just right. In a vapor-rich environment, there has to be the right amount of air to be in what's known as the flammability band. And in a contained environment with an ignition source, you're in prime territory for an explosion. And to detect that crucial air-to-fuel ratio, the guys are using a portable gas monitor.
It's going back and forth between 4 and 4.5.
That's fantastic.
And so we're right in the butter zone. Yeah.
Awesome, let's go, let's do it.
With the added through flow, the air-fuel mixture is perfect. And we're about to find out
Go ahead.
if those spectacular cinematic explosions are based on real-world physics
Careful, you guys. Not too close.
or simply movie magic.
Good, stop! It's burning in the tank.
But it's stubbornly refusing to detonate.
The facts here are pretty simple. We were at 5%. That is exactly the butter zone we were looking for. We got perfect ignition. The test went really well, and we did not get an explosion. Don't get me wrong. If my car's on fire, I'm going to be running away from it. All I'm saying is the way the movies look at gas tanks and explosions is just wrong.
Hey, Adam,
Yeah.
should I just lay down some fire and we call it a day?
This is actually really frustrating to look at because if the tank is enclosed, it very quickly goes above the explosive limit. If it's open like we had it, then it's just burning. It's just flame. It's not explosion.
No explosion! That's a result. How do you want to wrap up Vapor Trail?
Well, the flame did follow right along that trail of gasoline as it was laid down. In fact, it went all the way up to the tank.
Yeah, but it went so slowly, man. It would never catch up to any car. You could push a car faster than that gasoline trail burned. And once it got to the tank, it don't blow up.
I guess we gotta call it busted then.
Busted it is.
Jamie and Adam have busted the movie myth that a blazing trail of gasoline will catch a car and explode the gas tank. But this fiery fable is still alive.
I know it's a bit of a segue, but I don't feel like we're all the way done with Hollywood pyrotechnics just yet.
Why is that?
Because I've got another one I want to try, and it is an old cowboy myth that involves gunpowder.
Oh, you mean where the bad guy lays down the trail of gunpowder, it goes to the keg, he lights it, but the good guy rushes in and puts out the flame right before it reaches the keg?
Oh, it's like you're a mind reader or something. That's exactly it.
So it's Trailblazers Part 2. But this movie myth comes from way back yonder, when your average action scene involved cowboys and gunpowder, not cars and gasoline. A lit trail of gunpowder is heading for a powder keg, and if it can't be stopped, disaster. But our hero saves the day by leaping ahead of the sparking fuse and kicking out the trail. Back in the bunker, the team begin testing to find out what would happen in real life.
I don't think this is going to work. The whole premise we're testing, just can a cowboy lay out a line of black powder, and if I saw it and tried to kick out that powder before it got to something that it was going to blow up, would I have enough time? I don't think I would. I think the black powder is going to burn too fast. Every time we've ever noodled with it on the show, its defining characteristic is that it's super fast.
So, like the vapor trail, Adam thinks this movie myth is just another special effect.
My guess is it's going to be less a shh than a shaboom kind of moment. We'll see. Well, without the boom. We're not adding in any boom just yet. It's all about the shh.
On-site supervising, it's pyrotechnician Rob Klott, and he's got the shaboom making materials.
This is black powder. You can buy this in most gun shops, and it's actually the closest thing we have to what would be period correct for like a cowboy movie. It's what we've used when we fired our Civil War era musket, when we fired our period ammunition.
This is perfect for these tests.
Yep, black powder and the MythBusters go way back. It's been particularly useful for period realism in a number of ballistic myths. And as an added bonus, it does this.
Fire! Firing! 3, 2, 1!
And seeing it's an integral part of the show, let's find out some more.
We use black powder in a lot of our experiments.
Yeah, black powder engine, killer cigarette butts, and salami rocket.
Do you know who invented it?
The Chinese, right?
Yeah, the Chinese were searching for the secret of eternal life, and they somehow came up with black powder.
Eternal life, I did not know that.
Well, obviously they didn't achieve eternal life, and in fact, they didn't even realize that they'd created a weapon. They were using black powder on things like skin irritations, like fungus.
Now, that is one skin treatment I would not want to have on my skin standing close to an open flame.
Regardless, I think we found some uses for it.
First up, there's starting small, a trail just a few feet long.
I think that's great. What do you think? I mean, this is just to see what it does.
Just see how it feels.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
To light it safely, Adam has pulled out all the stops to impress Rob.
This is a standard industry remote lighter. This is your butane torch on the end of a couple of tie straps on some structural aluminum, providing some distance between me and the flame so I can light while I'm safely away from the explosion.
All right. Everybody ready? Yeah. Here we go.
It's a little too fast.
Yep, and the myth that you could run ahead of the burning fuse looks like it's gone up in smoke already.
Gunpowder by design burns very quickly. When you have it inside a gun, it burns explosively quickly. When we lay it out in a line, it just kind of burns fast.
Well, it behaved exactly the way I thought it would behave. In fact, you'll see that the rating for this is which is pretty much the sound it made when we lit it. And that's what it's based on. What do you think we do now?
Well, I think we need to come up with a more controlled way of laying down the powder, something that's very consistent and maybe a little less of it.
Jamie, basing his design on an old-fashioned powder horn, soon has a solution. And they're ready to see how quickly a 3-foot line of powder burns.
Oh, look at that.
That was really nice. That was much slower. And it was like,
That was like a really slow walk.
It was. We found out that there is no experiment too small for us to be wrong about what the results are going to be. I thought that if we laid out a line here and it was fairly visible black powder, that it would go and just go really fast. But in fact, it seems to burn at a rate not unreasonably close to what I'm used to remembering in cowboy movies. I'm starting to think that if we laid out a line of powder like this, maybe 20 feet long, with the, keg at the end that might blow up, and I had a few seconds to run over and kick this line so it would stop igniting, that I might actually be able to do that.
I figure I could outrun that pretty easily.
Well, if you want to try, I say we get out to the bomb range and do it for real.
Okay, let's get
out of here.
Alameda County Bomb Disposal Range, Adam and Jamie's second home.
Another day at the bomb range.
That's right.
And as usual, their hospitable host keeping them out of hospital is Sergeant J.D. Nelson.
The bomb range is a perfect location for us because we can blow stuff up, but it's a little bit rocky. And it's dirt, so we want to be able to see the black powder. We're going to lay out basically a dance floor for dancing with the black powder. It's about 20 some odd sheets of plywood or chipboard that we're going to lay out in a line approximately 80 to 100 feet long. Should be plenty of a run for our black powder tests.
Well, there you go, dance floor. My dance card is empty. Let's go!
Adam's job is to kick out the line of burning powder before it reaches this. Now, for safety reasons, we're not going to put any powder in this. We're not quite ready for Adam to blow up just yet.
What Jamie means is, for safety reasons, the keg will be empty. But at the end of an 80-foot trail of black powder, Adam can't resist adding a cupful of extra motivation.
Who's first?
I really would like to try it first. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
My motivation for this is really humanity is going down the wrong path. That's the gunpowder line, and I'm the only one who can see that it's burning, and I've
got to kick it out before it explodes. 2, 3, here we go. It's not that hard to outrun it. Here it comes. I stopped it.
Look at that.
Here, light this one. It's like a really brisk walk, really. Here comes some things. Boom! This is a fun job.
Well, I don't know about you, but it seems to me it doesn't move as fast as I thought it was going to move. I think it's pretty easy to run down a line of gunpowder and kick it out to stop it from blowing up. You want to give it a shot, or you think we've got this one in the bag?
I'll give it a shot, but you know what? I want to wait till it gets really far down there and then see if I can catch up with it and kick it out.
Okay, done.
Put them on, little feet. The reason Jamie's feet are so small is that he escaped from communist China in the 40s, dressed as a woman with bound feet. They've never gotten bigger again.
Ready to race some powder. Adam, would you mind laying the powder? I'm just gonna sort of relax and you can light it. I got a good view.
Jamie's idea of racing is pretty laid back.
Powder kick test number 2. Grandpa Heineman presiding. Go!
Jamie, cool as a cucumber, gives the fuse a good head start. Of course, he's thinking his only obstacle will be covering the ground in time.
Oh, I'm still going!
Yeah, you. He pushed me out of the way. What the hell is that?
I was giving you more of a challenge.
We wanted to find out whether it is possible to outrun a burning line of powder, break the line, and stop it before it reaches the barrel and blows up the barrel. Turns out, it is. We did it. It's not that hard, really.
So the movie myth that you can outrun a lit trail of gunpowder is confirmed. But the fun doesn't end there. The fuse is still burning on this fable. Jamie, despite unforeseen obstacles, is confident that you can outrun and kick out a burning fuse of gunpowder. But the guys haven't quite satisfied their big boom quota.
The next thing we need to know is what would happen if you were not successful. Maybe somebody got in your way or pushed you and, before you were able to do your job. Does the barrel blow up? Will it run up the stream of powder coming out of the barrel? Are we going to see a big explosion?
It's a cartoon caper classic. The lit fuse of gunpowder leads right to the powder keg and kablooey! But would the barrel really blow, or would the fuse just fizzle out when it reaches the end of the line?
Go ahead and plug it in.
And to find out, they'll need to light the powder remotely. And our bright sparks have just the thing.
See, it's a 20,000 volt neon transformer. I know that the electrical resistance of air is roughly 10,000 volts per centimeter, which means I only need to get the two ends of this transformer within 2 centimeters of each other for that arc to travel across them. And it is the most ideal thing to light the gunpowder. Perfect.
Next, with Adam and Jamie displaying all the characteristics of kids who know the ice cream man is coming,
yet another thing to not try at home.
Fill the keg with powder and lay down the road to explode.
So as soon as the line gets here, shaboom! At least in theory.
It's a theory they can't wait to put into practice. Plus, there's a breeze and a danger the black powder will soon be blowing in the wind.
All right, let's do this thing.
So it's double time down to the bunker.
So I'm going to count it down. Tell me when you're set.
I am totally set now.
Okay, going in 3, 2, 1.
There it goes.
Look at it go.
The trail is ablaze, and just like in the movies, it races towards its destination.
Come on, little buddy, don't burn out. Go, 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 go.
A barrel full of big boom.
Go, go, go.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was the best explosion we've ever done. I swear.
That was a serious bang.
Yeah.
take all its time to get there. It was like, that's the way I always expected it should be. Awesome. Let's get an all clear and go inspect.
This is one cinematic and cartoon cliche that does exactly what it says on the label.
What happens when a burning line of gunpowder reaches a keg full of gunpowder? Exactly what you think. It's going to blow up, and that's what it did.
Each one of these expanded a little bit.
And look at all the burn stripes on the inside.
It's quite clear what it did, but it blew out both heads. It blew out the weakest part. If you watch the show at all, you know that I like to live my life halfway like an action movie hero and halfway like a cartoon character. And this explosion satisfied both of those halves of my personality. I proclaim it my favorite ever MythBusters explosion.
How are we going to call this one?
All right, let's go down the list one by one. The myth that you can light a line of black powder and yet still someone can outrun that line as it's on fire and kick it and break its stream before it gets to an explosive thing. Perfectly plausible. And the myth that that line of black powder, if it got all the way to a powder keg full of powder, would it explode that keg?
Absolutely plausible.
I totally agree. I think it's plausible. I think we've done some very good work here today.
Let's get out of here.
All right.